I'm Mo Volans, and in this short series of video sessions, we're going to be taking a look at some of the things that you can do with the Elysia karacter hardware. Now, I'm in Logic here, and I'm in the session that we're going to be using for this first video, and I thought that I'd quickly show you how I'm hooked up to the Elysia hardware. I'm using the Logic I/O plugin, and I'm literally coming straight out of a couple of line outputs of my Apollo interface and back in. The rest is taken care of in my patch bay that you can see here. I've also got an instance of Isotopes Insight up here, and you're going to be seeing this in various forms throughout the video to give you some visual feedback of what's going on. So now, focusing on the hardware in the rack, we're going to take a look at how we can move from a really simple initialized setting to some basic parallel saturation for our drum bus. Now currently I've got the karacter in stereo link mode. And what this means is that the controls on the left here are going to act for both the left and the right sides. So we only need to concentrate on these four controls here. Currently I've got the drive set to 0. I've got the color at the 12 o'clock position, the gain at the 12 o'clock position. These are both what I consider to be default initialized settings. And then we've got the mix at 100% dry, which is completely counterclockwise. Now, if I play the drums back with these settings, although we're passing audio through the unit, we're really going to hear no difference. Even at 100% wet on the mix, we're really going to hear no difference until we start to add some drive. Let's put the drive at about 4, and we immediately hear great analog saturation. We hear immediate crunchiness and distortion, but we also hear attenuation in level. So we need to dial that back in using the gain control. Now if we mix back, we should hear about the same gain setting, but with extra saturation. Now, if we want to push things a little further, we can do. And we can maybe up the color control to control the harmonics there. And then I want to mix in at about 30%. Now let's take a listen and bypass this in Logic. Now it's a subtle difference, but this can work really, really well on a drum bus, whether it's acoustic drums or it's electronic drums like this. We can up the mix a little and up the drive a little if you want something more upfront. Remember to compensate with your gain control as you add more drive. So now let's take a look at how we can push things a little further and get some more extreme creative sounds with fetch red and turbo boost. Now I've initialized the settings and I'm going to play back the same drums. But this time we're going to push things hard from the get-go, and I'm going to engage fetch red. Now what this will do is give you a more tube-like character and make things a little more aggressive. So let's up the drive. And as we push things and move the mix towards 100, things sound really crunchy. If we engage turbo boost, we can go a step further. And it's at this point that when we start to change the color, you'll really hear karacter come to life. I really like the low end there. Now let's mix this. The low end on that kick drum is awesome. Finally, let's take a look at how we can use karacter to create a wider stereo image in percussion loops by disengaging the stereo link feature and using it in dual mono mode. So in this situation, I've turned off stereo link mode. I've also got just the percussion from our drums playing, and I've set the left and the right sides the same. But remember, we can set them differently so that we can create a differential between the left and the right sides and widen our stereo image here. So let's have a listen to the drums playing with their current setting. I think that sounds pretty cool, but I want to drive the low end a little harder, so I'm going to use the colour control in just the left side. Now immediately we've got a difference there, and it sounds a little wider. Now let's make a difference in the right side and up the drive. We can balance things with a gain. And we can maybe engage turbo boost in one side. If things get a little crunchy, we could use the mix control. And maybe a little colour in the right side too. Now remember, at any point we can engage the stereo link and simply control the entire stereo image with one set of controls. So as you can see, using Karacter in dual mono mode in this way makes it really flexible as a stereo tool. These short video sessions should have given you some idea of how flexible Elysia Karacter is. And remember, if you want to replicate some of these settings and sounds using software only, you can head on over to the Plugin Alliance website and grab the awesome plugin versions of Elysia Karacter. I hope you've enjoyed these sessions and have had as much fun watching them as I did making them, and I'll see you next time.